Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lenox Justifier of Innocence, created by Zeus and Demeter to save humanity. I'm here as the character Josephine, which is Lenox in human form, and with me today is Mr. Buddy the guard dog. He was sent by the ultimate creator to watch over Lenox. Now before we get started, I wanted to thank you for clicking on this video, and I hope that you will give it a chance. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for all of your support. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share with your friends so that we can keep the channel growing and continue to put out great content and stories for you. For those of you who are new, welcome. This is the Fantasy Justice channel where superheroes and mythological gods unite in the fight to get justice for the innocent and save humanity, restoring the balance between good and evil. Lenox, the protagonist, was created by Zeus and Demeter to stop humanity from destroying itself. This channel is designed so that you can listen to it like an audiobook, or you can watch and enjoy the images, artwork, and dramatizations that are to assist you in imagining the story as it goes along, kind of like a picture book. This channel piggybacks off the book series titled Lenox Justifier of Innocence. The first of many is out on Amazon, and you can go ahead and get a copy of that, and it'll help you get the backstory so you can follow along this storylines a lot easier and get full backstories on all the characters. This channel is also based on true crime, so a lot of the stories are loosely based on true world events and tragedies, so some of the topics can be sensitive in nature and may trigger emotional response. So we did want to forewarn you on that. In some of the cases, the names and the places are changed in order to protect the identity of those individuals that were involved. And the majority of all the main characters are fictitious, and it is designed so that we can bring some light to otherwise dark situations. All of the justice is carried out in fantasy and imagination. Now that we have that out of the way, we can get started on today's show. So today's show is going to be based on the assassination attempt of Donald Trump. So you're going to see the characters. They're going to be discussing the conspiracy theories and some of the information that's out there about the case, and just go through some of the opinions and some of the thoughts that have been put out there and based on, the characters' insights. And so at the end of the story, we are going to be going through what is going to come up next on this channel. So you want to make sure you stay to the end. We're going to be starting a whole new storyline, and we'll give you some insight on that. I hope that you guys enjoy the show, and we'll see you at the end.
Hey, Josephine, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no worries. I was just finishing up.
Okay, I just need to talk to you about something that's been bothering me.
Yeah, we can go. Let's go talk about it, and just give me a few minutes. Go meet me in the second living room, building B, and we'll get cleaned up and we'll meet you over there. All right.
Okay. All right, yeah. I'll meet you over there.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Hey. Sorry again for the interruption.
Oh, it's no problem. I was finishing up anyway. What's going on?
Well, didn't you find it interesting that no one's talking about the assassination attempt on Trump? I mean, they spoke about it for like 2 weeks, and then, like, they attempted to sweep it under the rug.
Oh, I know. Perpetuating the very notion that Americans are stupid, forgetful, brainwashed idiots. Well, fortunately for America, we are not all forgetful idiots. Some of us want answers so that we may hold those responsible for committing horrible acts accountable.
Yeah, there is no way this weak young nerd acted on his own. And a man, no kidding, that they would like us to believe.
Multiple outlets have stated that he had like little to like no media presence, no manifesto, no online presence whatsoever, and no friends. It's the typical narrative. They even attempted to pass him off as like a bullied kid. I seen a video of like one kid teasing him, and it looked like normal teenage boy stuff, you know, just teenage boys messing around. When are they going to stop trying to victimize the perpetrators? It's so immoral and societally irresponsible. I mean, the boy was a gamer, according to some reports, anyway. He was also on like the chat platforms on these game sites. A lot of those platforms are connected to the dark web. And the dark web is known for manipulating vulnerable, emotionally and intellectually stunted minds like that of this young perpetrator.
Why do you think he did it?
I can think of two reasons that are plausible. Firstly, fame and or infamy. They gave him the opportunity, a chance to be forever known and have a mark on history until the left decides to erase it to fit their narrative, that is. Yeah, for someone who otherwise would go through life, you know, somewhat invisible, this is their chance. Longing for fame and popularity to be known on a global stage. I'm going to speculate that this young man was exploited on the dark web. And, you know, all speculation at this point. But it is known that authorities like the FBI have traps set up on the dark web to capture criminals. For the most part, you know. But they also monitor and exploit people for their gain. Or in this case, political gain and retention of power. You can call it a conspiracy theory. I call it critical thinking. Because based on everything that we have learned about what transpired that day, there is no way this weak, nerdy young man was able to plan and execute this on his own. He was only 20 years old. His brain wasn't even fully developed yet. He could have easily been manipulated and indoctrinated to believe that he was taking one for the team.
Yeah, he was spotted as early as an hour and a half before Trump went on stage. He was allowed to remain at the rally with suspicious contraband? What's the word? Contraband? A backpack that was full of weapons and ammo. And he was allowed to climb the roof and remain on there for an extended period of time. Even the spectators were reporting that they seen someone suspicious on the roof. They reported it to
the authorities. I know, he had an AR-15 for crying out loud. That weapon is as big as my torso, so how did he sneak it in? Come on. You know what's worse? Is they allowed President Trump to come out to the stage. I have been to many of these type of events in my life, and most of them did not start on time. In fact, I don't think I've been to one that has actually started on time. You know, there's some reports say an hour, some say 30 minutes, but he was allowed to set up that perfect shot, and he was allowed to take that said shot on their watch. Well, you see, to me, it is clear that the Secret Service was aware of all that was about to go down prior to. At least to me it is.
Did you see when the now former director was questioned? Yeah, refusing to answer.
It's too bad they couldn't hold her in contempt and throw her in a cell with some hardened criminals. Look at this clip that I found.
Your supervisor and advance team, a protective intelligence team, a counter sniper element, and detail. Who was the agent in charge? How long has she been the agent in charge? And what is her Secret Service background? So I'm not going to provide a name. Why not? You're here to answer our questions for him. I'm not going to provide names. You stated in your testimony, you said, I am here today to answer your questions. That is correct. Answer the question. I'm not going to provide names of our personnel. Why not today? The American people are demanding these answers from you today, Miss Cheadle. I will do the best to provide you accurate information based on the facts that I have at this time. You're not answering our questions. The advance element coordinates with other intel or law enforcement partners, identifies threats and weaknesses at the sites and movements. We'd like a copy of the advance report. Have you brought it here with you today? We will comply with the request for the documentation that has been requested. When will that be, Miss Cheadle? Because you should have brought it today. I am certain that our personnel are working on obtaining all of that document. I don't believe you, and neither do the people watching this hearing. You're not doing well, as Mr. Moskowitz informed you. You have been sitting here for over 3 hours, and I have you know the entire country is demanding you resign and demanding that you be fired if you do not resign. Things are not going well for you. You need to answer the questions.
It is unbelievable.
You know, in my unprofessional investigative opinion, this was planned. Starting with planting the seed in that young man's head, to providing him with untraceable funds to buy ammo and guns for practice shooting, to purposely not communicate properly to local police as a way to pass the buck, and to top it off, have a bunch of unqualified soccer moms guard Trump. If the mission fails, put on an act of complete incompetence, pretend to protect, act completely oblivious. Oh, I thought they were taking care of it. Start that finger-pointing game, you know?
No, they didn't take any precautions. They didn't do anything to assess the potential threat.
No, instead Cheadle made excuses. She said that she decided not to put her heavily trained agents on the roof because there was a slight slope and it was potentially dangerous for them.
Really? I mean, they might roll an ankle, for crying out loud. It makes sense.
It's like, no, can't have that.
How ridiculous. They didn't take any precautions, it seems. I mean, they just let him come right up there. It's unbelievable that a man of his stature has such unqualified security.
Oh, but the excuses kept coming. They tried to pass it off. Oh, we tried to go up there. The officer couldn't pull himself up. Are you telling me these trained, big, strong men can't pull their own body weight? I'm not buying it.
He said it was because he was pointing a gun at him.
It's like they forgot how to communicate with each other. You know? One excuse after the other. Oh, the roof slope was too dangerous. Give me a break.
It looked like, and it's kind of weird, but if you ever watch Nick at Night or any of those shows, it looked like the Benny Hill show, like a skit from the Benny Hill show, which is an absolute shit show.
Benny Hill?
If you don't know what that is, go look it up. You'll see why I just referenced that. You see, it is better for these agencies and the people involved to look like complete, incompetent, unintelligent buffoons than to be exposed for the evil traitors that they are. But you see, they didn't count on one thing.
What's that?
Divine intervention. God said, not today. Today is not your day, not on my watch. And so he turned Trump's head.
Evil did not win that day.
Yeah, I personally do not buy the narrative they're trying to push. And I hope and pray that a real investigative probe goes into this situation and continues. I did see one recent news report that said that the investigation into the matter is still ongoing, but yet you don't really hear about it. All you hear about instead is J-Lo's 18th divorce.
Oh, I know. They care about things that don't matter. Which, whatever, like, it's entertainment, but still, like, not when your country's crumbling right before your eyes.
Yeah, these evil perps need to be exposed for what they did.
Completely agree.
They conspired to commit these crimes. And it's not just about the life of one important person. It is for the safety of all Americans. If they, as in these possible insiders or an insidious group that operates on their dark web, or both, if they can get away with committing these types of acts on someone like President Trump, what will they do to the average American?
I don't even
citizen?
want to think about that.
What will they do?
I get
to
what
you
you're
or
saying.
not? People need to think about that.
No, reports were saying that this young man was acting suspicious and on the roof for like an hour and a half. And yet they did nothing. These are supposed to be the protectors of the people. The elite defenders.
Yeah, we can't let them get away with it, America. Demand answers and demand punishment. We need to keep probing and not stop until we have accountability.
Have you watched Dan Bongino? He's one of the only ones besides an occasional Fox News report that I've seen still reporting on this.
Yeah, I've heard of him. He's a credible source. He has first-hand experience because he was a former police officer in New York, I believe. I didn't know that. And he was a former Secret Service agent himself. So he knows what he was talking about. See, we know that Thomas Crook was working with someone. And we know the why. Trump is standing in their way of their quest to world domination. And that starts with the United States. We need to know the who and the rest of the how. Pure speculation it may be, but I truly believe that the reason there is no online footprint is because the communications were conducted through the use of the dark web. I also truly believe that it was an inside job, passed off as incompetence. See, they're going to stop at nothing. They will stop at nothing to retain power.
You're absolutely
and the sad
right.
truth is that America is on a slippery slope. We're hanging on by a thread. You see, once the integrity of the very things that create the foundation for our republic, not democracy, republic for which it stands, that foundation is cracked. The Constitution constantly undermined and manipulated. They keep just chipping away at freedoms, piece by piece. We can't continue to allow this. We need unity and we need answers. And we need proper actions to be taken and those who committed horrific acts to be held accountable.
We do need unity. People need to stand together. It's the only way.
You know, it's like President Lincoln once said, America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it is because we destroyed it ourselves.
Wise words from a wise man. It still holds true today. So what do you want to do next?
Time to go get some answers. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get some answers, and we're going to get accountability. If they won't do it, then we as the people, Lenox and the crew, will get justice. Let's get going.
I'll look into the dark web angle. I think there's definitely something there. There's no way this guy, especially in the age group that he is, that he didn't have some kind of online something. I mean, I know that they did some searches on him, but like he had a little bit, but nothing crazy, and just not normal for somebody of his age, especially since he was a gamer. So I'll definitely look into that angle. I'll get in contact with the crew. Okay. Well, let me get to work. I'll get on the phones and I'll start looking into it.
Yeah. Let's get going.
All right, sounds good. Let's do this. Thanks for listening to me, addressing my concerns.
Anytime, Amalia.
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
So thank you guys for staying to the end. I know that if you're watching this part, you watched the entire story. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. It really helps us grow. And also appreciate engagement and comments so that we can get insight as to what your thoughts are, or if you have that can help us with our stories going forward even better. So feel free to comment on that. Also, for those of you who are new, part of the channel is that we write stories based on your tragedies. So if you have faced something that you feel you've had suffered injustice for, you can tell us your story and we will research it and then write a fantasy justice story just for you. So that's something also that we do, and we put it under patron requests. If you're looking to get caught up and just get a little more insight as to what this channel is about and who the characters are and what their backstories are, that is all in playlists. Once you subscribe, you can click on the channel and you'll see all of the playlists, and all the different storylines are in categories, so you can go ahead and get caught up on that, and that'll help you follow along with the stories going forward. So next week we're going to be starting a whole new storyline, so you want to make sure you come and check that out. Mr. Buddy and I will be here, as well as one of the other main characters. So you'll have to stay tuned and see who is going to be a guest star next week. So we hope that you guys have an amazing week, and we will see you in the next one. God bless.